Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 82 of Dissonant Waves, the last episode of 2021.
Damn.
Ritz and Tricks are
Yeah.
here. That's a yay
Yeah.
from Ritz. A
Yeah,
yeah from Tricks.
Just
Yeah.
needed some something to break this I guess awkward silences that we had here. I mean I've just been here reading this kind of review of the game Icarus that's come out, which a lot of people have hated because it's put out as a full release, and then a lot of people going like, well, it's kind of an early access game. And then someone's had this really just unique take here. If you're this person who's had this take, congratulations, you're the first person to ever have this. The fact anyone buys early access is stupid, to be quite honest. Yeah, first
shit.
person to ever have that take, and did it on a game that's not actually early access as well, so good on you.
Yeah. Interesting.
We have a lot to talk about this episode, actually. We have, briefly, a Homeless Wear Glass Beach concert to recap. We have a couple albums and a couple EPs, maybe one's an album, maybe one's an EP, who fucking knows.
Yeah.
And then we got the wrap-up of 2021 to get into, briefly covering the albums Sketchy by Yards, Sungazer, or Perihelion by Sungazer. Then the questionable one is Party Favors by Sir Chloe. Is it an album? Is it an EP? Depends on who you ask. And then we have Yasen, my Bulgarian friend, his EP, which, depending on the English translation, can be translated to short, right, correct, or short, that's right, something of that nature.
Huh.
Just to go on quickly with this Sir Chloe as well, just a reminder that the Home Is Where album is technically an album. I consider it an EP, and you
Yeah.
can consider the Sir Chloe an album if you want to, because album and EP is all based off perspective, just like almost everything in life.
And the
Yeah.
Sir Chloe album is about as long as a Petite League album, so...
With about 1/6 of the enjoyment.
And one song less.
I like the Sir Chloe.
I like a Sir Chloe. Let's talk about Sir Chloe.
This is just a fun album.
It was a fun
We
album.
talked about Sir Chloe.
I enjoyed the listening experience. I thought it was a cut above a lot of the kind of, what was it you called it? AFAB pop, bedroom pop?
AFAB soft bedroom pop.
Yeah, this was a bit better than a lot of that stuff. It was just more...
I mean, we've covered quite a bit of bedroom pop this year, though, and look, I was obviously like exaggerating a bit with how much I didn't like this album. Out of all the albums I didn't enjoy, I still like this more than Yards. I still like this more than Yasen, but
Damn.
it's like out of all the other bedroom pops that we covered just this year alone, this is probably around the bottom. Maybe not the bottom, depends what you'd consider a bedroom pop, I guess. I mean, would you consider the Oscar Lang to be bedroom pop? That's a good question there. And
It's better than Oscar Lang.
yeah, I would
Much better than
say
Oscar Lang.
I would agree actually. Yeah, I would say.
Now,
Yeah,
You ready for
better
the
than
hot
Oscar
take?
Lang.
Ready for the hot
Alright.
take?
You can fucking go ahead.
This is better than Lucy Dacus.
Yeah.
That's a disagree on my part, and that's where we're gonna have to leave it, I guess.
Lucy Dacus was a really critically acclaimed album, I believe. Home video got a lot of acclaim. I thought Party Favors was better. It was more interesting. The voice, the vocals just had more going on. As much as I love parts of home video, I think it's interesting. Party Favors easily.
Yeah, I can definitely see that.
Is everything on Party Favors amazing? Not exactly. But I do think the songs are generally pretty nice, pretty cool to listen to. Like, I don't know, there's just something about it that feels more organic, that feels less kind of boxed in than a lot of these other ones, like Driver or Taco Cat or Fan Club Wallet even.
Yeah.
Look, I admit when I go into this is not something that I can just go and say, hey, I have the full ability to criticize or explain absolutely everything, because I only listened to this once, and I only had the time to listen to this once, and I listened to it probably around 5 hours ago. So
I appreciate what you did. It's nice of you to do.
Yeah.
Given that you were very busy this week and we made you listen to stuff anyway.
Yes.
But in saying that, I found, like, I mean, the Fan Club one is obviously one of my favorite bedroom pop kind of releases of the year, even if it is just an EP. I thought the production on that, it's quite subtle, but still actually quite impressive on there. I mean, obviously talked about how What's Up kind of sounds like it was produced by Japanese Wallpaper.
Sure.
And I mean, maybe if I go back onto here, maybe it does that same thing and stuff like that. But I feel like this might just be a bit more unsubtle, but there's nothing else kind of below the surface on this.
I mean, in
That's
terms
kind
of
of my way of explaining this. But
Yeah.
again, maybe if I go back to this, I will discover that stuff.
it's just like it's just an album where I just listen to, and it's like I really like those vocal harmonies. I really like that vocal pattern. I like the way that she's singing the song. I like the way that July is structured, for example. I love the way that songs like July can contrast with songs like Animal. Animal being a bit more stripped down because it was the single. It's like, okay, and then like shit like Michelle is a great fucking song. Michelle is so fun and catchy.
Oh, Michelle is so great.
What does I say? It had like
I
a million.
relate to it pretty hard.
It had like a million or
Yeah.
something like that. Listens on Spotify or something like that.
Something like that.
Too Close to 22 million. Michelle, over 106 million listens
Fuck.
on Spotify alone. This album kind of blew up a bit. No, none of us knew it.
Yeah. And I've been actively listening to it for a while.
So I think that's really cool, actually, that we're kind of getting to it now when we really like it. This seems to be the point to get into it.
Yeah.
And part of that's TikTok. Part of that is, just the internet being the internet. But I don't know.
I mean, most of it these days is TikTok, and that's not a bad thing. It's never actually been a bad thing. People love to go, protect the song from TikTok, whilst the actual artists go, yay, more streams, more revenue.
Yeah, like Lorenzo tweets about wanting kids to invent a dance to Not Always Happy.
Yeah.
Keep dreaming there a bit, Lorenzo. But I mean, there are songs that I've had on my playlist for like years, and then I find out, oh, hey, it's actually blown up a bit, and then it's TikTok. I mean, Surf Curse, I believe that's the band. They blew up quite recently with Freaks, and that song's been out for like 4 years.
Yeah, Freak has been on my listening rotation for like 2 years actually.
I think I discovered it actually, I think Freaks is even older than that, but I think I discovered it like 4 years ago.
But
that's fair.
Like there's just interesting, I think, subject matter too. Songs like Too Close, where it's about this guy who he's attractive, he's interesting, but he's just kind of this asshole who brings party favors to the party, and everyone's doing coke and shit all of a sudden, bringing the dollar bills. She keeps hoping he'll be better than that because he's so attractive, but he's not.
Yeah.
Or I don't know. I guess it's just one of those things. Like it's got the somber song, it's got the lustful song, the wrathful song. It's got like a lot of stuff going on. It
hits the highlights.
Yeah, and it makes me interested to see what else they got going on. I know they've got a couple different. Like there's one song they released called La Femme Michelle. I don't know if it's like a remix or something, but
I haven't listened to it yet.
I have not either. But I don't know. I just want to give it a moment to praise it and just talk about, hey, this is really cool. I dug this. I don't know if I have a ton to say as in the context of the entire year necessarily, but it was really solid. I think in a different context, if this was done like 6 months ago, I think we'd have a lot more to say. But
yeah, that's
really solid.
I feel like you just summed it up pretty well.
All right, less than 10 minutes in, first album down.
Well,
first...
I've got something to actually say, like,
Sure.
not about this, to extend this episode though. After we've done our favorites and least favorites, so which I've got none.
Favorites, Michelle.
Favorites for me, definitely a Michelle. I also liked what was the song? It was this really spacey song that I was thinking was a Beach Bunny song for a hot second. Hold up, let me just pull it up.
Was it somber? Was it darker? Chill?
No. I'm pulling up the album right now. It is
Easy on You.
Easy on You.
Yes,
It was Easy on You. That bass line is just killer.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, I like that song as well. I think my least favorite song, I don't know, maybe like Wrath or something like that. Like Wrath is an interesting song in its own right, but it's very repetitive.
I think I really have a least favorite.
Yeah, that's fair.
So this is kind of just like from something that we've done earlier this year, so we're just like completely started there. You remember how you made us do Raccoon Love?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know they put out an EP like on Friday?
My birthday, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that I've posted it in here now. and it took me a little bit to realize, but that's the actual art's a reference to the Moondog single, isn't it?
Oh God, is it?
Or to the
Yeah.
Joyrider single. I'm pretty sure.
The whole
Yeah,
kind of just the whole helmet vibe. I can
yeah.
see it.
Right. I think I think most of the actual single art, sorry, for Joyrider was just the helmet, but I'm pretty sure that's a reference. If you literally just grabbed any of the Petite League singles for Joyrider.
Yeah.
That's fair. Yeah.
He actually Lorenzo actually did art for every song as a helmet. I have the shirt of it.
Yeah, it's really cool.
I think the only single really that kind of still exists on Spotify is Moondogs, so it's kind of had to be based off that.
Fair enough.
But I could be wrong on there, but wasn't there a bunch of different colors as well in the background for all the singles?
No, they stuck to a very basic color scheme.
Yeah, I'm
like
going
4
to-
colors.
I'm actually going to check for both Greyhound and Joyrider. Actually, were the two ones? No, they were all red already then, because I thought could it be possible that the colors in there were a sort of reference in the background, where I saw a reference to all those singles.
No, it's just the Petite League singles were all like monochromatic or like 4 colors altogether.
Mm.
I'm not necessarily surprised that they would copy it though, or like reference it.
Well, it doesn't seem as much as a copy as it does like. I guess copy technically does hit, but it feels more of
inspiration.
Yeah.
A reference, a calling to it. I mean, seeming as Raccoon Love pretty much is just a Petite League fan band.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Yeah.
Yeah. I got no further comments on that. I just wanted to bring that up before I forgot.
Fair enough.
Thank you for the birthday gift.
Should we move on
and,
to the most
Cameron.
boring of the EPs and albums that we had, so we can just like get over it?
Yasen.
Yep.
The single was the most interesting thing, and it was still boring as shit. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
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 Where he tries to do like a Vincent Price thriller kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I thought Up All Night when I first heard it was interesting. I kind of liked it. But in context of this EP, it just did not hit the same way.
Yeah.
And like having listened to like all the tracks he's released just because I could, because I wanted to be thorough. He's only released like 4 songs.
Yeah, well, I thought it was going to be longer until I realized that all the bonus tracks and stuff in there were just instrumentals. And I was like, well, the songs themselves are kind of just instrumentals, so what's the point?
Yeah.
Like the interlude even was just an instrumental version of another song.
Yeah, it was very uninspired, very boring, repetitive, and just uninteresting. And I think it's going to be the shortest thing I ever had to say about anything because I'm already done.
Yeah. It's boring. It's simple.
I don't know. Like I have all this like when I remember when he first announced it, or like I first saw he was talking about putting like music out. He sent me this whole big thing about like kind of catching up, kind of just talking about stuff, and it was just like so like I don't know. It just seemed like really cool that he was turning his life around to do this kind of stuff versus what he used to be doing, and I don't know. I was really hoping for more.
I mean, if what he used to be doing was heroin, then this is definitely a step up. But
yeah, this is definitely a step up from heroin.
If whatever he used to be doing was being a lawyer, then he's done a step down.
When I talked to him previously before seeing this stuff, he had been working for Ubisoft Sofia.
I'd say this is a step down.
Damn.
Yeah. A lot of people rip out on Ubisoft and stuff like that, but I mean, depending on the gig, it's a pretty good job.
Support center.
Okay, maybe it's around the same then.
Yeah.
Like, I think...
Lateral move.
I think there is, like, potential. It's just, this is not, like... I feel like this is, like, a step too soon of being so confident in it. You gotta wait until the material's there before you can really start releasing, like, this is an EP, let's get to an album. Like, this is, like, the first real scraps of songs I feel like he's doing. He's already getting to that, like, let's do an EP, let's do this, let's get on the radio, let's go sing at Pride. Like, I'm sure, you know, in Bulgaria it's a lot smaller than in America and stuff like that. But I feel like even then you have time. You have time to cultivate your sound and time to curate your tracks.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I feel like some of the mixing needed work, like stuff like Full Moon. It just sounded like someone just talking over a track. It didn't sound like it was part of the track.
Yeah.
Like the title is not wrong. It's short, exactly, clear. Yeah, pretty short. But I don't know. Man.
That's it. I mean, this isn't a whole don't quit your day job type of situation. I mean, people who actually do quit their day job to start a music career, I do think are idiots, because you actually notice that a lot of people in the music career still have a day job.
Yeah, and he has a day job even now, so it's not
I assumed he did, but the kind of whole just going with the whole like saying and stuff like that.
Yeah,
but it's kind of like you still got a while to go before you're anywhere like interesting. I mean, granted, if he's just in a clubbing scene or anything like that, then this will probably just be fine. But
yeah,
I don't know, for it to actually be anything worth talking about, and I feel like we've done this quite a bit over the past couple of years, and if we just go find like a really underground artist or anything, or it's really mysterious, and it's just another fucking clubber, because that's what a lot of them are, and some of them are happy just doing that. And if you're happy just doing that, that's fine. No one's stopping you. I mean, I've released whatever the fuck I'm happy releasing. I don't know, and it's pure garbage, and it's just like that. There's no reason why you can't do it, but it's so just uninteresting.
I know. I think I like it a little bit more than that James Cherry stuff we listened to, only because A, I know him. B, like it's somebody still starting out. It's not someone purporting to be like a big DJ or anything. I think on a level of scale and like in terms of where they are in life, I would prefer this.
Well,
I mean, only one thing I really have to say. Then I wasn't sure if I just disconnected or what.
No, it's just hardly anything to say about this one.
We met through
in your perspective. There's a lot, but in ours,
no, there's really not much else. Just this last thing of just. Yeah. We were introduced through my former roommate who we had in the podcast and the one minisode that we had a guest on. So that's just a weird connection that I thought it'd be fun to have on the podcast on its own.
Fair enough.
The web just keeps growing bigger. And from that, favorite track.
Favorite release verse. It's just none.
I'll stay up all night just because I think it's an okay tune. It has something there that you could expand upon and improve.
Fair enough. Trix is currently just having a bit of technical issues, so we'll just wait a little bit for her to get back, but she'll probably give us some favorites of least favorites, and she hasn't, so let's move over to the next one.
All right. So that leaves us then with Trix's picks. Sungazer and... No, actually, Trix's picks and my other pick, Tune Yards and Sungazer. Let's talk about the one you like. Let's talk about Sungazer. I'm
not even a huge fan of this, but I was a lot more impressed by what this is doing than the other ones. I mean, this actually reminded me quite a lot of Sleep Makes Waves. And Sleep Makes Waves is a lot more in the actual sound, a lot, I guess, metal or something, but there is a post-rock. But one of the big kind of things is that the kind of use of ambience that they had in there, and very kind of instrumental, chill kind of vibes that happened, and then they would move into what they would actually trying to do with the songs, and it had the same kind of progression as the Sleep Makes Waves, which I was kind of like, ooh, that's at least a bit interesting. I mean, songs like Thick, which Trix is going like, it's a meme song, was still like good despite it. Like,
yeah,
the meme wasn't actually like funny or anything on there. I don't think there was really much actual memeing on here that I was like going like, oh, I like this because I'm laughing or anything. I was actually just like, I like the instrumental.
Like honestly, Thick was
if you're a music nerd. If you're a music nerd, the entire fucking score, if you just like read it, it's like just reading fucking musical memes. It's fucking ridiculous.
I can believe that.
Thick was my least favorite though, just because I thought it was kind of interesting the way they used that vocal sample to kind of expand into a whole song, but I also did think it was a very interesting song in itself. Like, yes, her voice is a little thick. Got it. Great. And it's like, it's not really a voicemail because Adam Neely, his name, he speaks up here and there on it. Yeah. It's like a recording of a conversation. Doesn't fit our voicemail list, unfortunately. But I thought some of the songs were really cool. Like I thought Threshold was a really impressive opening. I thought Machina was a great follow up. I do like the way it blends like chiptune, easy listening, jazz, all that stuff together really seamlessly.
Yeah.
I mean,
This is just
I
a
do
fun
agree.
album.
It's one of those things though, where it's like with people who are so into music theory and they're like someone like Neely who's like a YouTuber who does music stuff all the time.
Yeah.
I can't help but feel like this stuff sometimes is calculated in a way.
Oh, it probably is. Adam Neely, I've been following the dude for like a couple years now, and he's just known for doing ridiculous music shit posts, and that's basically what this album is, a ridiculous music shit post.
But like, does it mean anything to him though? Is it like a sensual, soulful part of his artist identity, or is it just being funny and making
It's a way for him to flex his degree from Berkeley, and that he actually knows how to write music and just be ridiculous.
But see that's the kind of attitude that I don't like as much though. It's just like
That's fair.
there's a lot of cool ideas and cool songs here, but I get that vibe from it. Like this doesn't feel necessarily like it's coming from the heart, though it could be if you just tweaked a few things perhaps. But it's still really impressive.
That's fair.
Like I think all these people had a cool hook. I do like that construction of that song. Cytherian, it was a really good closer and everything. You know, a song with no words. You know, the label's right there. It tells you exactly what it is. But like, you know, I was reminded of Anamanaguchi naturally. But I think in some ways Anamanaguchi found more interesting things to do with chiptune and stuff, even though maybe some of the songs on here were better. And it's a weird balance, I feel.
That's
Dear
fair.
Diary, today Dominic finally gave a compliment to Anamanaguchi. I feel validated. 5th of December 2021. P.S. Buy more milk.
Your diary is also your shopping list. I feel sorry for you.
You ever seen the old video of Pulp during a live show just before they played Common People? I forgot who the lead singer of Pulp is, the frontman. But he goes on, it's like, I don't usually like write down stuff that I didn't need to do, but like today I did and had to go through it, and it's just like this is all the stuff I wanted to do in this show. Eggs, milk. Wait, this is my shopping list. And then they played Common People. It's a pretty classic video.
That's cool.
It's pretty great.
What songs do you like on here, Trick, specifically? Other than it being a musical shitpost, what do you actually like about it?
I quite really like the composition of it all. Threshold, killer opening, Machina, really enjoy. All these people enjoy. It's just like if you know what you're listening. I can't really say much more other than if you know what you're listening for, it gets crazier.
Like I thought A Song with No Words was cool in the sense that it felt like a song from like Mario 64, but done like by someone like Ryuichi Sakamoto or something. So,
Yeah, I can see that.
You know, it was very kind of more abstract, but I could feel the video game vibes from it. You know, it's not even that Neely is the only Berkeley graduate in the band. The other guy also is Sean Crowder.
Yeah.
So I mean, in terms of just like kind of people flexing on themselves, here, people who have toured the world and done their instruments and done their stuff, it's not a bad representation of what they can do. I just wish it was more meaningful to them and more of an art piece rather than a shit post, I guess.
Yeah, I can see that.
Because like if you make a shit post and it's accidentally brilliant, that's one thing. This just happens to be really solid and good.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
Court adjourned.
I'm really just fucking cruising through these. I'm sorry.
I mean, we got a lot to
It's
cover.
cool. We got a lot to cover.
Yeah, I mean, it's like we're gonna say, oh, we've done all the albums and stuff early, but then like we're gonna spend like fucking 3 hours doing the whole wrap up of the year. So
Sure, that's fair.
feel free to just cruise through this last one because I actually got nothing to say about Toon Yuds.
Oh, briefly though, favorites: Threshold or Machina. Least favorite, probably one I remember least. Like, no, Thick is probably my least favorite, but one I remember the least is probably something like The Dark or something like that. But Thick is my least favorite.
Yeah, that's fair.
I don't really have a favorite or least favorite still, but I got none for this week. But this was the album I was most interested with. I thought it was at least trying. Like, as Trix is saying, it felt like a flex of knowing music theory. But like, what's the point of learning music theory if you're not gonna flex it? So.
Well, you could also flex it in a way that's me.
No, fuck off.
I'm gonna be honest, dude. You can't really flex an immense knowledge of music theory in a way that's meaningful without it being a flex, because the kind of shit that they pull off in this band is fucking ridiculous.
And I like it.
There are so many nested polyrhythms, my dude. Like some of this shit is just like impossible for you to like even like comprehend if you're a beginner musician.
Why do I always have to be the smartest guy in the room?
But I mean, I could hear some of that. I could appreciate. I can imagine what the music looks like on a sheet. You know.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's just something about it. It was kind of like I can't remember what band it was exactly, but there have been a couple bands like that where it's like, I like this, but something about it rubs me the wrong way a bit. Like kind of like Tiny Little Houses, I guess, but different reasons.
Yeah, I get you.
Transition. Have you listened to Tune Yards?
Let's talk about Tune Yards. Okay, let me slow it down a little bit just to talk about Tune Yards a little bit, because this was a band that I got into in like 2011. But I got into, I mean, like, I really struggled to listen to their album Who Kill, because Who Kill is a fucking complex motherfucker of an album. It's really like, it's good, it's hard to listen to, it's bad, it's avant-garde, it's a lot of fucking shit. So I kind of dropped Tune Yards after that. 10 years later, we get Sketchy, which we going back into music stuff, and they're like, oh, you know, I'm getting heavy into music again, I'll check out the new Tune Yards. And it's a lot more poppier, it's a lot more traditional, you know, it's still lo-fi in some ways, it's still very, like, inspired by, like, African beats and African, like, Meryl Garbus, the leader of Tune Yards, mentions it here and there of, like, African Diaspora is a huge inspiration, and a lot of the trajectory of Tune Yards is kind of the realization and fallout of, like, this is just another white woman appropriating African culture, etc., etc. That's, you know, been a part of it too. But this is an album that came out in March. It is an album I'm still listening to in December. I really think that is worth discussing.
I can give one quick hot take if you want.
Sure.
Pretentious.
You would hate Who Kill then?
Probably, but the one moment on here which I think really, really fucking defines this album is silence, where they literally just do a minute of silence just afterwards for the sake of that the song is called Silence.
That is pretentious. I did think it was fun also. I like Trix is still having issues. That is okay.
Yeah.
But I thought a lot of the songs on here were genuinely really catchy, had really nice hooks, just were cool songs to listen to.
I don't hate this album, but the stuff that makes me like it is just kind of like cancelled out by the stuff that makes me think it's pretentious, and that's really just kind of it for it.
Sure.
It beats Yasen by a mile. You can get that on the list.
Was this the first time you listened to Tune Yards ever?
Yep.
Okay. I was curious about that, because I know I brought them up a couple times in the past to be like, do we want to cover this, or do we want to cover something else? And everyone always voted for the other thing. So I didn't know if it was a combination of just not listening to them, knowing their reputation, or what. Because it's like, I do appreciate Meryl Garbus's attempt to, like, kind of course correct and be like, you know, I'm trying to work on, like, anti-racist messaging and, like, go to seminars about it and stuff like that. And, you know, acknowledging, like, kind of the colonization kind of angle of everything of, like, let me just use this kind of music that this other culture likes a lot, or has as part of their whole being, and use it because I think it's cool. And I think, you know, it's probably a bit less, especially because she doesn't use as many sound samples this time around that she used on Who Kill, but it's you know, it's still the kind of album you would go and, like, this is an album that's meant to be kind of a world album. It's the kind of thing that I think pretentious high schoolers would still like, because of the attempt to seem woke and worldly.
Not gonna lie, I never actually, like, looked into who was actually behind this project, and I just assumed that it was just, like, the people on the cover.
Oh. Yeah, it's, you know, Meryl Garbus has been at it for, like, over 15 years. She's in her mid-40s now. She's going strong.
Dang.
Good on her.
And I do like her voice. I think her voice is really good. I think songs like Hold Yourself.
Yeah, that's a definite fair assessment.
Trix, if you have the time, you want to talk about it a little bit?
Yeah, I don't know what it was about this album, but it just clicked, and I just really enjoyed it. Like My Neighbor is what really kind of clicked in for me, and I'm like that, which is towards the end, but I was digging it throughout the whole thing, and and My Neighbors were like really clicked, and I'm like, oh, I really dig this.
Yeah, that's where it kind of slows down. It becomes more vibey. It's more about a darker about like my neighbor held the key to my survival, but I still killed him in the end and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some really interesting stuff about that there. I think having the silence after silence part one is a fun little thing. I do enjoy that.
Yeah, I do enjoy that too.
I don't mind if it was like 10 seconds. It's a full fucking minute.
I mean, but if you think about it as an LP though, like that's when you would turn the record over.
Yeah, and I can have as much silence as I want by waiting to turn the record over. Fucking incredible, huh?
You don't get it, man. It's artistic silence.
Imagine turning on your fucking vinyl and it's silence part 2 and you're just going there for a minute like, is it actually working? And then you realize after 5 fucking minutes you haven't pressed play.
But like, if Wolfpack release a 5-minute album of silence and it's not seen as pretentious.
Well, here's the...
Wolfpack was also a thing for free concerts, so...
Yeah.
That's fair.
It was a fuck the system, we're gonna do it on our own terms sort of deal.
That's true. I can appreciate that still.
Context is a very important
pitch,
I guess.
I guess in terms of this album, I think the first track, Nowhere Man, is alright. It's decent. But I think Hypnotized, Homewrecker, Silence Part 1, Hold Yourself, Sometime Under Your Lip, like most of this album is actually genuinely just banger after banger for me. These songs have mostly stuck with me throughout the year in a way that I did not expect. I came away appreciating this album more on this week of listening than at any point throughout the year, which I never would have expected.
Yeah. This is gonna go into my rotation.
It's just like, okay, like the vocals are just there all the time. I like the Hold Yourself, really great chorus. Hypnotize, just really fun. I think like Silence Part 1, it's so good.
Yeah, I feel you.
Oh man, huh? Interesting. When I was taking my notes, I totally skipped a song in my notes. But I made note of it later, but not in like my initial like. Well, that's funny. I didn't talk about Make It Right. Huh. That's a rare occurrence for me.
Yeah.
Just mark that real quick. Trix, say something real
quick. Okay, this is a fun album. Like I might have to go back and listen to some of the more the older Tune Yard stuff if it's really pretentious, because let's be honest, I'm a pretentious little piss baby. So I'll probably dig it.
I would love to know what you feel about Who Kill.
I will listen to it of my own accord and just let you know in chat.
Okay. Because that was a song even in high school, or an album even in high school. I was like, is this too far? Can I really get into this?
I mean, I started liking Captain Beefheart, so...
Like, I've listened to it now, and I do like parts of it. But it was definitely that hill I had to climb of, like, I'm just getting into music. I like Crystal Castles. I'm liking of Montreal. The Tune Yards feels like a bridge too far, a little bit.
Yeah, I've been there with various musicians.
But I'm glad to have had like a bit of a comeback of appreciation to what they can do. It's interesting that they kind of run into the Rage Against the Machine kind of thing of like, you know, they're trying to be really indie and not indie necessarily, but they're trying to be meaning something and have like a message in their music and everything like that. Not to the level of Rage, but then it's like they get the big advertising. They get the big record label thing, and then it's like, are they selling out? Are they still being genuine?
Yeah.
I don't know. I like this album a lot.
It's a fun album. It's definitely going into my rotation. And I'm going to have to check out other Tune Yard stuff.
Favorites: Silence Part 1, Hypnotize, Be Not Afraid, Hold Yourself. Least favorite song, Nowhere Man.
I don't really have a least favorite, but favorite is definitely Neighbor. My Neighbor. That just hit like a ton of bricks in a right way.
Trix, nothing. Oh. Ritz, nothing. I mean,
nah. This favorite Silence Part 2, and I'll stand by that.
At least you like something.
Yeah.
All right. So, rankings. I think universally, number 4 is going to be Yasen.
Yep.
Yeah.
Tune Yards is number 3 for me, and I'm the odd one out for that.
Number 3 for me is going to be Sir Chloe.
Same here.
Number 2 for me is going to be Sungazer.
Same here.
Number 1 for me is going to be Yards.
And same for me.
Number 2 for me is going to be Sir Chloe, and number 1's going to be Tune. Oh, no, sorry, Sungazer. Why did I say Tune Yards? I'm so fucking stuck with you two doing it. You're
Follow the crowd. Follow the crowd.
Follow the crowd.
I am a sheep.
All glory to the Hypnotoad.
Well, that ends a very wild year for Dissonant Waves, where we did nothing but stay in our rooms.
Yeah, I've worked a lot.
I have driven to several different states.
Same.
Including one where you had to go to for a concert that you two said you were going to wrap up in this episode and haven't done yet.
Yeah.
Yes.
We had planned this back in June.
July.
Yeah, it was after I had introduced the EP.
Home is Where.
Yeah,
yes.
obviously.
And then I found out they were touring, and I was like, hey, Home is Where is touring. Oh, with this band Glass Beach. I guess we should go listen to Home is Where.
I posted the ad as well.
Maybe you did.
You posted the ad, and
Shit,
I was like, oh fuck, I'm actually going to be only like 4 hours from Chicago. I should go too.
And then I was like, fuck, Chicago.
Yeah.
How was your car, by the way?
I went to Chicago. It's fine. It's just it was just a battery issue. I got a new battery, and I'm good.
Nice. But yeah, your trek on the Greyhound bus. You did the whole Lorenzo thing of going on the Greyhound bus and falling in love and getting to Chicago, and it was a whole ordeal.
Yeah, I honestly really dug the Greyhound experience, as strange as that sounds. Like, other than the lateness, I just dug it.
We didn't get a chance to go to Deep Dish Pizza or anything like that. We just
didn't.
We went to the venue and we waited in line.
Yeah, and I got here. I got a little too high, saw the concert, and then passed out in a Greyhound bus station for like 7 hours, surprisingly.
Yeah. We were also ready to pass out at the end of that concert.
Oh, I was like almost asleep on my feet.
Yeah, I was as well. The opening act, OUX, they were pretty good. It was a decent time. I liked it. It was probably the best opening act I saw this year.
Yeah.
But I was still here for Home is Where, and I thought Home is Where did really fucking well.
Yeah, Home is Where kicked a ton of ass.
Like, everything sounded great. They had Your Arms Are My Cocoon coming on stage and doing violin stuff for Sea Cucumber.
Yeah.
Really big surprises, just pulling out all the stops. And then Glass Beach did the same and even more, but by that time I was so tired. And so, my opinion of Glass Beach has not changed.
I still really did Glass Beach.
But Brandon was great. She did a great job.
Yeah.
All of Glass Beach. I think all of Glass Beach clearly was putting their heart into it, even despite the van being broken into.
Yes.
What's the crowd noodly, though?
What?
Did the crowd get noodly?
No. Not that I know of.
Reddit lied to me.
I loved how we went to get merch. Like, Home is Where had just shirts and stickers, and then Glass Beach had stuff. But the most merch that I saw for anything was Origami Angel.
Yeah.
There were so many Gami Gang shirts, hoodies, beanies.
Origami Angel did used to tour with Glass Beach, so maybe it's just leftover shit, but it is weird. Usually at shows I go to, that's not a thing.
I don't disagree with the choice of Gami Gang, but I just thought it was really funny.
Yeah,
waiting in line to get into the venue was kind of an interesting experience in itself because there was just a lot of activity happening.
Yeah.
Well, we got there and
interesting.
These two Jewish guys are trying to get us to I don't know, sign up for a newsletter or something like that.
Something like that.
And then they went and set up a stand across the street so we
if you're going to a Glass Beach show, then there's a good chance you're not interested in anything religious.
Yeah.
People assume that it would be the Iron Maidens or the Judas Priests and stuff like that, which are the anti-religious devil worshippers. But there's no devil worshippers here. But I feel like most of the crowd would be quite young at a Glass Beach show, and I mean, young people are getting less and less religious, so I feel like you're barking up the wrong tree.
Really young, really queer.
I mean, yeah. I mean, at this point, I
Yeah.
feel like I have to point out that my mother is a Satanist.
Fair enough.
Hell yeah.
Maybe devil worshippers are at the Glass Beach show. Never mind.
Yeah.
We had we saw like ads for local artists, kind of just stuck on like light posts.
Yeah.
You saw, like there was this one guy just walking around trying to get some money for like a taco. He was just singing songs. He was just walking by.
Yeah.
There was I think this one guy was trying to sell like watches out of his coat or something like that at one point. But he just kind of hung around after a while and just, I don't know, just waited with us for no reason.
Yeah. It honestly made me miss the city.
Yeah, except the Chicago bathrooms continue to suck at these venues, and I don't know why.
I did not use the bathroom, and I'm glad I did. I did use it at the Greyhound station, and almost had security called on me. So yeah,
Really?
yeah. I went to use the women's room, and as I'm coming out, this woman was like, "I said security after you. I thought you weren't a woman." And I'm like, "Okay, thanks for thinking I'm a woman now. I guess now." So
That's fucking rude.
that was interesting. I'm sure I was being suspect a bit because I was like half asleep and still probably a little stoned.
Either way, leave people alone.
Yeah.
It sounds like you two at least had a good time there, despite the
yeah.
the bathroom mishaps.
Glass Beach went on so long though.
That's what usually happens with the main act. They
That's
usually
true.
take up as much time as they can to do this show.
We
They were like, we have a hard out at 11:59, and they played until like 11:34.
Yeah, they were playing like Calico, and Trix and I were like, "Oh, this is probably gonna be the last song." I was like, "Oh, it's a weird choice for a last song, but sure." And then they were like, "Oh no, we have 2 more songs." And then they were like, then someone was requesting like, was it Spaghetti Rat or something like that?
Yeah, and Spaghetti Rat it was.
Yeah, and so they played Spaghetti Rat for a second. And then they were playing the last 2 songs. And then for like the last song, what was the last song again? I don't even remember.
Yoshi's Island.
Yeah, Yoshi's Island. That's right. Because everyone came on stage for Yoshi's Island at the end. Your Arms Are My Cocoon was there. Home Is Where was there. Awe was there. Brandon was playing the harmonica. Your Arms Are My Cocoon was on the violin. It was a whole big show, just a giant encore. And they just wouldn't let it end. They're like, "Oh, I don't think we got it right." And then they would just do the final note again. And then they did it again. And they did it again. And then they did it again.
Sounds like they're just having fun.
They were having a lot of fun. If I was in a different mindset, I would have really, really enjoyed it. But I was so fucking tired.
I really enjoyed it, and I was falling asleep on my feet. And like you saw that photo of me posted where it looks like I'm on Mars. So
Yes.
Did they at least play Neon Glow?
yes, I have. There's video of it on the drive.
Ah, beautiful.
I also got a video of Brandon stage diving.
Yes.
Noise.
And this is not to say that I did not enjoy my time at the concert. I did. I've had a lot of fun. Even if I'm not the biggest fan of Glass Beach, I still enjoyed their energy and seeing them there and everything like that. I was just so tired.
Understandable.
Favorite moment? Seeing Your Arms Are My Cocoon get on stage. Least favorite moment? Having to figure out how to use the bathroom.
Favorite moment? Honestly, fucking surprised me.
Yeah.
And that's where I was having like that. That's where I got my most stoned accidentally. And so I was really feeling whatever the I forget. I forget exactly.
Stoned after the concert, right?
Yeah, I know. I was having a big when in Rome moment.
So in Chicago, smoke the weed.
I mean, there's a couple artists in where that's different, in which he's supposed to be absolutely stoned when you see him. I don't think there's anyone ever been sober at a Grateful Dead or a Fish show, but
my father has been sober at both of those.
Yeah, I'm sure.
No, he legitimately has. He does not like drugs. This is not a joke.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Your least favorite moment from the gig? Have you got one?
I don't even have one, and I slept in a Greyhound bus station, and honestly, I even enjoyed that.
Oh, I guess the other least favorite moment was when I scraped my car against a cement pillar.
Yeah, that.
Because in Chicago,
and I guess probably the least favorite for me was the fucking 2-hour layover in Indianapolis being extended to 5 hours.
In Chicago, there is a parking garage where you just drive down into the garage because it's indoors, and it just goes straight back. It's room enough for one car, with a couple on each side to park, and then if you don't find any spots, by the time you get to the back of the garage, you just gotta figure out how to fucking turn your car around and drive out. No fucking room.
Yeah.
So of course I
And
hit
with that,
side of my course.
Shall we discuss the highlights, the everything of this year?
Let us now that we're 50 minutes in, let us now transition to talking about 2021 as a whole.
Yeah.
The best year for Dissonant Waves yet.
I'm sure.
A lot has happened.
A shit ton has happened.
Can I just remind you where we started the year? Can I just remind everybody?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm gonna take a second to just go grab my notebook.
The beginning of the year, we came back with Sarah Vaughan, Mike Kroll, Psychedelic Porn Crumpets, that whole saga. But things really started getting interesting with the next episode, where we did Mousatui. And Mousatui, which feels like it was from 2020 now.
Yeah, and it's technically a 2019 album, but it's in the 2020 circuit for me.
You know, we Avalanches came along. I remember listening to Avalanches when I was busy playing Dark Souls on my Switch. A playthrough I never completed, and I still regret not being able to complete this day. So many great memories of this early era.
Yeah.
And, we did Joyrider, the great anime betrayal of Ritz choosing Joyrider.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't think there's ever been a reaction quite like that.
There hasn't been.
Is my reaction still your text tone?
Yeah, it is. It's still my text tone.
Excellent. Yeah.
Can you actually give it a? No, that's the Weekend Run Club.
Oh shoot! No, that was this one.
Tricks.
Oh,
no, the Yeah Boy was.
Yeah.
Tricks.
No.
Can you actually play the reaction right now?
Yeah. Hold up. I have my headphones in, so I might have to unplug for a second. Shit. Where am I? Fuck.
If it's
I'm
too much of a
panicking.
hassle,
It's
don't
not a
worry.
big deal.
No, I got it. No, just pad time and I'll pull it up.
Yeah. Fair
After
enough.
this was one of our few minisodes this year. We did a lot less minisodes, and this was the minisode where I fell asleep during the recording, which was a great time. We tried to talk about possibly in Michigan, tried to talk about NFTs, and I just got way too.
You're not the only one.
All right, I'm gonna try and play it.
Go ahead. Now, no sound has come, so I'm going to assume this is not successfully worked.
Right.
Successful then, because I played it.
Yeah, no,
That's
it
fine.
was not. I think just don't worry about it. Probably send the
I'll
file.
have the sound file if
Sure.
Domino wants to splice it in or something.
I can do that.
Yeah.
But it's okay. And then we did the whole Daft Punk thing, the anniversary, celebrating their breakup, celebrating, but acknowledging it.
Morning.
You guys,
Yes.
Daft Punk is breaking up. Yay! No.
And then only a couple episodes later, we got into the whole Cardinal Heart, D.D. King, Sarah Abraham thing. That was
Yeah.
a whole saga into itself.
I still have trauma from the D.D. King album.
God, that was such a...
Commotion in the Ocean sucks so much ass. It is legitimately the worst song ever put to fucking
I
tape.
think we'll find something.
God, that is not a that is not a fucking
I don't think I've made
challenge I
anyone
want to find.
more uncomfortable on this podcast than when I brought up Emily Montez.
That is
Yeah.
correct.
And I've said shit, man.
Yes, you have. But they don't.
I reckon Emily Montez has made you two more uncomfortable.
And then only 2 weeks after that, we started getting into the swing of things. We started getting into the groove of what made it so special. We got into Shaky Graves. We got into Black Country New Road.
Mm-hmm.
And then only a week after that, I started my Of Montreal saga, doing Hissing Fauna. That's when you picked Mogwai.
And I picked Black Sabbath.
I finally picked Mogwai, by the way, after 5 months of saying I'm gonna pick Mogwai.
And then the Black Sabbath also started us on our whole metal journey, which really changed by the end of the year.
Oh god, yeah.
Actually, I had a fucking huge goddamn streak though.
Yes.
I'm just gonna go through that. Black Country to Mogwai to Genesis Owusu, Fucking hell.
Yes, and then you skip a week, and then you go to Paranol, Home is Where.
Man, you had some fucking home runs.
Yes.
And then Butterfly 3000 after that. That's at least me and Tricks.
Yeah, Butterfly 3000 is fucking
And then
great.
Sly
I haven't
Withers
listened to that
after
enough.
that.
Yeah, Sly Withers was great. But I do want to just focus for a second on this the 1-2 punch of Paranol and Home is Where.
Yeah.
I at least watched All About Lily Chojo for that week. That was a fun time.
I did as well, remember?
Yeah.
I did not.
I watched it with my
so.
girlfriend, and my girlfriend hasn't allowed me to choose movie night since.
And like I Became Birds has become like one of the most lore heavy, and Paranol as well. To the point that like I Became Birds didn't even win that week. It won that week. You know, in our hearts.
Yeah.
Carrie and Lowell won that week, but I Became Birds won that week.
I'd also like to give just a shout out to myself for starting transitioning this year.
Yeah, you started around Witch Egg, I think.
No, that was early. I started in April, sometime around like what was it? Against Me, maybe? No.
I thought we had
something
it,
like that.
I thought we had it pinned down to like Witch Egg and the Minisode NFT.
Was it? I feel like Witch Egg feels too early.
Dominic, you said Carrie and Lowell was the same week as Home is Where?
Yes.
I probably would have given that number one to Carrie and Lowell that week, right?
I think so. I don't remember anymore.
I can safely say in retrospect now, and just having a time for Home is Where to actually properly grow on me as well, like had a chance to grow on me, that I do consider Home is Where to be better now, at least.
Which is incredible.
Yeah, well, I had more time to retrospect and stuff like that, because like I never give it 10 straight away. It kind of has to like grow into it.
Yeah.
But Home is Where it's like the first release in a while where I'm just like comfortable saying yeah, it's a 10.
You know what? I agree with you.
Mm.
I don't know if I want to change my rankings now after all of this, but I think even now I would agree if I didn't finish doing rankings.
You don't have to
I
change
think it
your
was
rankings.
between Interstellar 555 and Talking Heads.
Okay, maybe.
That is definitely a hell of a time in transition.
Yeah.
Did you do it to Giorgio by Moroder? And you go, my name is Giovanni Giorgio, and then the second the beat comes in, you start transitioning.
No. When
TikTok meme.
I got approved for hormones on 420, and
fair
the only plans I had that day were initially to just get stoned and listen to Earth 2, and I ended up getting approved for hormones and crying along to Petite League.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Then from the peak of Home is Where we went quickly into the pits of Alex Boniello.
Oh God, yeah.
What a week.
Was that the same week or
the week
not,
after?
Week after.
Because then we get to the whole Butterfly 3000 saga, Sly Withers. Then we get to like the Lucas Skookus episode, which is one of my personal favorites still.
I did two albums in a row as well. One of them which I thought was going to be a slam dunk, and the other one which I thought was going to be a bit of a bunt at best, and I was correct, and it was the other way around.
What was it?
Because I picked Ween's Chocolate and Cheese and Tism's Great Trucking Songs, and I thought you two would hate trucking songs and love chocolate and cheese, and I mean you didn't hate chocolate.
It's the other
and
way
cheese.
around.
Yeah, but it's like it was.
I don't hate chocolate and cheese. I love Great Chocolate Songs of the Renaissance.
Yeah.
That fucking album is so good.
I was talking to my roommate about it today, actually.
Introducing them to Tism now.
Yeah.
Mm.
He already knows I'm a fucking weirdo, so I'm just embracing it at this point.
But like the fucking whiplash that's there between that episode where we did the stuff our parents liked, and then like the Squid episode, the La Bouquet episode, it just feels like two different eras even.
It does.
Because that then leads into the Noteworthy 01. Here's Dr. Colossus. Here's more of Montreal.
Yeah, I'm looking back at my picks this week. All this year that I've done. Sorry, looking at all my picks I've done this year. I can't fucking speak. And yeah, I've really had some fucking slam dunks. So
yes,
holy shit.
You have.
Dr. fucking Colossus. Fucking.
Dr. Colossus is the best
God,
kind of
yeah.
doom metal that we've done this year, and I will stand by that.
Disagree.
I'm standing by it. I don't care. I fucking love it.
Well, like
it's a good album, but it doesn't compare to like Mirror Reaper.
But then it's like, okay, we have Squid, Dr. Colossus. You know, it's like a few weeks of that, about a month of that. Then we get into fucking Origami Angel.
Yeah, and I'm in
Hold
Indiana
on.
at this
You
point.
two haven't talked about how much you like Machine Gun Fellatio.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. Is like after conditions, after paging
Give
Mr.
me my
Strike,
validation.
Machine Gun Fellatio.
Machine Gun
fucking great.
Fellatio is great.
Yeah, Temper Trap was a bit of a bum choice, unfortunately for you two, but
Yes, did not really
Yeah.
follow it. But then the
No.
Origami Angel episode, Through the Soil, that whole thing, Oscar Lang, that then is the cutoff for the trip to Nashville,
Yeah,
where we then get into Anamanaguchi. More of this era. I feel like we're in of this podcast where we did the Dope Smoker, we did the Raccoon Love, finished of Montreal. Then we got into like the weird Clint Eastwood stuff. That just leads us right into October. You know, doing all of the Tropical Fuck Storm.
my whole planned out October albums.
Lil Nas X and Black Midi. Bell Witch finally. Bell Witch is the follow up to Sleep.
and
Stomach
I
Book.
did manage to do the I was gonna say Stomach Book, probably the last big surprise of this year, I reckon.
Oh god,
Yes.
Stomach Book kicked so much ass.
And like then we're back in the last few weeks. You know, JPEG, Glass Beach, Monolord, Aubrey's, Costanza, Tony Barnett, coming up to the Tune Yards and Sungazer.
Yeah,
It's been a really weird year, really interesting. Excellent shit. Very excited to see what happens next year. But
Now, are we going to do, before we go into individual rankings, are we going to do what we did last year? And I know, Dominic, you'll probably have to edit it a bit, and apologies for that. But are we going to vote on a consensus for the top 5 and worst 5?
we can do that if you want.
I feel like it's something we need to have. Otherwise, there's no point in ranking all of our shit.
What is the context? Top 5 of the year of 2021?
Top. I'd say we have a top 5 for the year. That like stuff that's come out this year, and a top 5 that we've covered, and a top 5 worst that we covered. We don't have to worry about worst of this year.
Okay.
Okay, well, I know that D.D. King is going to be on the worst, so fuck
But
yeah.
I think we'll do some individuals first. Give ourselves just a bit of time to think, and then we'll do a bit of I guess nomination like we did last year.
I think the bottom 5 is going to be easy.
Oh, I think so too.
Yeah.
And remember, no leaving shit out because you don't want to talk about it.
No, I think when we do a consensus, I think we agree that we get to all with the bottom 5 worst, that we all get to save one album, but only one album from that list.
I think we got to do a bottom 10 because I don't think there's anything that's saved in the bottom 5.
Fair enough. I can happily do a bottom 10, but I mean we'll get there when we get there. Who wants to share a rankings list first here?
Let me assemble my Nebulous 5.
I'm happy to go through my the one rankings individual that I actually have got sorted out now.
Sure.
At the time of year, because I've actually got 2 sorted out. I actually got the EPs sorted out, and you 2 will get it earlier. But like everyone who actually gets this won't get it in time. And I'll actually start with my EP one because I reckon that's going to have one little surprise in it, and then have the most obvious number 1.
Sure.
Okay.
So number 10, I've actually put as Mitchell J's 5 Milk.
Ah.
Yeah, I mean, sorry, you're right. Dim and Down. I saved that as the single. It's Dim and Down. You're absolutely fucking correct. But don't worry, I can sort that out now. It's good that that's the first one. So yes, first one is Mitchell J's Dim and Down. Number 9 is TK Miser's Last Year Was Weird Volume 3, which was a pretty good ending into her Last Year Was Weird trilogy.
Yes.
Number 8 is Hippocampus's Good Dog Bad Dream, which it was a fun EP. I don't think it's Hippocampus's best work out there, but
no,
it was fun enough for me to enjoy. Number 7, which I feel like we'll get some agreements on here, is Bread Club's Queen of Hearts.
Good EP.
Yeah. It was
solid EP.
Kind of looking back on it, it's really like a discount Donny Benet without the sex appeal.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Number 6 is Kero Kero Bonito's Civilization 2. Surprisingly fun. Well, not really surprisingly, Kero Kero Bonito have been killing it for years, but nice little quick and short EP that came out there. Number 5, Beba Doobies, Our Extended Play. Beba Doobies obviously again been killing it for years. In the kind of female indie rock scene, I guess I'm gonna put it as, because I mean there's probably a shitty way to describe it, but those who kind of understand what I mean know what I mean. Those who don't, I have a hate box you can send it your letters to. 4, Beach Bunny's Blame Game. I kind of consider Beba Doobie and Beach Bunny to kind of be in that kind of same scene, but like they're still different sounding because, well, different countries, and I guess Beach Bunny has a bit more surfiness to them at times.
Yeah,
Yeah,
a little bit.
Yeah, but yeah, Blame Game was a good EP. I think it's actually the best kind of full effort that they put out, and very fun experience, despite it probably having a bit more serious subject matter than what I guess they usually talk about. Number 3, OK Cool's Surrealist EP. For a while, this was actually my number 1, but that was before the next 2 came out, so and it just got. I mean, it's gotten destroyed. No one's surprised at my number 1, because number 2 is Fan Club While It's Heard Is Boring.
that is a surprise to me.
No.
It shouldn't be. I'd like this EP quite a lot. I mean, Car Crash in G Major is a hell of an opening and just quite visceral. Disturbs Tricks pretty much every time she hears it.
Yeah.
I love the production on it, and I was praising it earlier. And I think we can all agree. I know we might not be able to agree if it's an album or an EP, but I consider it an EP, so fuck everyone. And the number 1, one of the few 10 out of 10s I've given quite recently, it's Home Is Where I Became Birds. I simply just cannot praise this any more than I did. The songwriting on here is fucking incredible.
It's
like,
so good.
Going looking into further into the lyrics and just how everything is so ambiguous, but yet you still know what they mean. It's so fucking vivid. Just all the thoughts that go into your head that listen to it seem to be, like, to me, it's always the same thoughts, but they're so colorful and so lively. I'm thinking of so much as I'm listening to this shit, and it's actually kind of so simple as well. And for a while, I couldn't really get the Neutral Milk Hotel kind of like comparisons that I think they did on this, but after a while, it's like this is actually just emo Neutral Milk Hotel without the answering.
I will say, for me, I did not do an EP list because I did not enjoy a lot of the EPs that I listened to this year. I think number 3 would be like Mitchell J, but then like my only real 2 contenders were Beach Bunny and Where, so I just did not.
Not okay, cool.
I did not get into Surrealist. I did not like it.
Fair enough.
Fair enough. I thought it was fine, but not anywhere near the top of my list at all.
And I'm gonna rush through now my top 20 albums of the year, or I'll talk a lot more about the top 5 in it because they're probably the more important ones. But I'll give a couple mentions to lower ones. So at 20, welcome to the first album of the year's list that I put you in. Middle Kids Today Were the Greatest. Kind of the more that I listen to this album, the more I kind of just appreciate just like the little kind of folk on it. Number 19, I actually put as the Through the Soil compilation because I just kind of realized, like, at its worst, it's still interesting, and at its best, it's incredible.
Yeah.
And it's a huge list, so it's a bit hard for it to go further, but blah, blah, blah. 18, Dominic, you're probably a little upset that you never actually got to cover this, but I've at least put it in the top 20 here. It's actually the Dirty Neil's Fuck Art. Yeah,
that would be the only other album I'd really cover at this point if we had another episode.
Yeah. 17, the absolute surprise that came out this year, Stomach Book's self-titled debut.
Yeah.
16, English post-punkers Shame with Drunk Tank Pink. 15, Best Doom Metal Album of the Year, Dr. Colossus, I'm a Stupid Moron with an Ugly Face and an ugly butt, and my butt smells, and I like to kiss my own butt, and it's actually a big butt, not an ugly butt, sorry. 14, Dark Side's Spiral, very nice kind of IDM, I guess is the best way to describe this type of electronic music album. It was very, very interesting listen. 13, an album I thought was going to be higher, but at the end, just I've had to put it down here. It was Mogwai's As the Love Continues.
Wow.
Yeah. There's Dominic's first. What the fuck? I like it. I like 12 albums more than it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Number 12, and this will be a huge disagreement already. Squid's Bright Green Field. I just know there'd be no disagreement because from Dominic for putting it higher than Mogwai.
I disagree, but after that, I'm not like that's not what's gonna take me out of it, you know.
Yeah, 11 Lucy Dacus's home video, so just missing out on the top 10 there. And now starting into the top 10, King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard's Butterfly 3000. Again, I actually thought I might put this higher, but it's one of those cases where just 9 more. But great return to form for King Gizzard after that 1 year of not having a great album. Such a bad period for them, I know, right? Number 9, sorry, it didn't quite win here, Dominic. It's Origami Angels Gami Gang.
Great album.
8,
Yeah.
Sly Withers Gardens. 7, Turnstiles Glow On. I would say a very nice, surprising punk album for me.
Sure.
Sure. I get to like what I like, Dominic.
Fair, yeah, absolutely.
That's kind of the basis of the podcast.
Yep.
6, just missing out on this top 5. Injury Reserves by the time I get to Phoenix. And now, starting on this top 5 and the albums that I'm just going to talk a little bit more about. Congratulations to this fucking fantastic debut from Genesis Owusu as number 5, Smiling with No Teeth. This was an interesting album, and it's been probably one of the big moments for Australian music this year. Obviously getting quite a bit of international recognition, but maybe not in the mainstream here, but definitely here in Australia. It's actually won the ARIA for Best Album of the Year, which is incredible for an artist of this size, and for a debut as well. I mean, there's some absolutely incredible songs in here. The music videos as well were fun and creative. I mean, it's kind of weird knowing of this artist for so long, but kind of pushing him aside. And then when I actually finally listen, I'm just like, that was a stupid idea. This dude's fucking incredible. Very interesting pop album, and the more you listen to it, the better it gets. It feels. Number 4, and another real surprise act to come here. But I mean, most of the stuff in here are surprises. But this is one that was completely out of left field, and it's been high in my listening the whole year. It's Paranor's To See the Next Part of the Dream, an incredible shoegaze album, which also goes to show that you don't actually need to understand the language to appreciate songs that are sung in it. I have no idea how to pronounce any of the stuff that he sings because I don't know Korean. But it's just in the way that the music is presented, the way that he sings and all that shit, I just can still feel it all. I can appreciate how beautiful every song is. Stuff like White Ceiling, where it sounds like he's having a goddamn panic attack, and it's a whole struggle with existing that's in those lyrics when you actually read the translated versions of it, so I can understand it. Like that whole line, like that whole verse pretty much where he just constantly keeps talking about how every time he wakes up he sees a white ceiling. It was just a fucking great line.
Yeah.
It was a great surprise. Number 3, one that I don't think you two will even have in your top 20, but I don't give a fuck because I'm a sad white boy. Tiny Little House's Misery Chord. Was very excited for this record when Richard Corey came out last year. It was one of my favorite songs of last year, and went into this record very, very hyped. And for me, it fulfilled that. Yeah, it's quite doomer. It's quite full of its self-sadness, but it plays on it quite well. I reckon. I love its peaks. I think it really improves on what their debut struggled on. The deep cuts on it were as good as I was hoping for. Stuff like Heavy and Holy Water, which even you two appreciated quite a lot.
Real quick,
Great
what's the singer's name again?
Caleb, can't remember the last name.
Yeah, he'll be your Doom Boy.
Yeah. Listen to Slay. Yeah, I can't remember the next line. Something Dodge Caravan or something.
In the back of my Dodge Caravan, and then later.
Yeah, it is.
It's actually my mom's Dodge Caravan.
Yeah. And two upset tricks. It didn't quite win, but I think this is one that's going to be in everyone's
I'm
top
surprised I
5.
got this far, if I'm going to be honest.
Petite League's Joyrider is number 2. This was the
Hell
album
yeah.
that I chose at the start of
Yeah.
the year, and I didn't quite expect it to be this high at the end, but everything that I loved about the album, I still love. It generally just shows that Petite League was always kind of towing that line between kind of average and fantastic, and in here, they just hit fantastic.
I would argue almost
Yeah.
that this album is this year's Weekend Run Club Zoo.
Yeah.
You could argue, but I do prefer Joyrider to Zoo.
Incredible.
I have no doubt in saying that. I think I'm seen on the Oz Music Discord a lot more for Weekend Run Club, but I think I enjoyed this album more.
I'd have to make that
Wow.
comparison. I don't even know how I could rank that. I'd have to like really think
Yeah.
about it.
I
But-
think Joyrider would go higher for me.
There was quite a lot of just emotion in the kind of childlike innocence that was in this record. It was an incredible vibe that went the whole way through, which
Mhm.
for a lot of artists, I don't think they could execute nearly as well as this was executed. And the production was, a bit muddy, but it actually really worked in this. It was just an album where everything that I thought didn't really work for Petite League finally worked for Petite League, and I enjoyed it a lot. But it wasn't my number one. My number one is it's probably a pretentious album if you look at it that way. But my god, I just fucking love it. And that's Black Country's New Road for the first time. The first debut record that I've actually put as a number one. You want to say your next words, Domino? Same.
Made up of songs that came out a year or two ago.
I was thinking that, but then I realized they've completely re-recorded everything to make it work with this album,
Fair
and
enough.
that's where I stopped giving a shit.
Sure.
When people put songs that have come out on the previous EPs and stuff like that, and which they hadn't even done even, but from whiles ago, and just stick them on an album, go debut, usually it's annoying. But when they actually re-record it to fit, that's when it works. And this album is fucking incredible. The re-recordings work. They're kind of different. Sunglasses is just a fucking incredible song. I mean, so is Naked from Petite League. I actually don't even know which one I'm going to place higher on my songs of the year list at this point.
Oh.
But yeah, at only 40 minutes and only 6 songs, this could be an album which I go, yeah, this is cool, but then like kind of like don't have as high. But every single one of the songs on here is great. Even the instrumental, which is probably the worst track on there, is still a fantastic opener.
What?
When I say worst, it's comparisonly on there. It's still fucking better than the worst track on For the First Time is better than the best track that a lot of albums have.
Okay.
Yeah, it's fair.
Oh god.
I just love that they take their times on these songs, and the build-ups are complete absolute payoffs on here. I love the guitar grooves that happen on here. Even the slowest song on here, track X, is still quite a fucking vibe. Incredible debut. That's really all I can say. And that is my top 20 albums of the year.
Good list.
Dominic, you've now promised your rankings.
You want my top 25 albums here?
Go ahead.
All right.
I can't talk anymore.
Top 20. I had to do 25. It did not feel right without it.
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
Number 25. I'll have to start with Lana Del Rey, Chemtrails Over the Country Club. Number 24. La Bouquet and Oliver the Kids, The Big Happy. Number 23. Mono Lords, Your Time to Shine. Number 22. Lana Del Rey's Blue Bannisters. Lana had some decent albums coming out.
Yeah.
Number 21. Yeah, number 21 is where it gets tricky. I have JPEG Mafia's LP online version. This is where it gets tricky. I think that album is great. It's just a matter of how great is it, depending on the context in which you listen to it. Now, out of the way, the top 20. Number 20 being Lucy Dacus' home video.
First one that I picked.
Yes. Number 19, Injury Reserves, By the Time I Get to Phoenix.
Second one that I picked.
18, Tiny Little Houses, Misericord.
Third one that I picked.
17, Shannon the Clan's Year of the Spider. I think that's a great album. I think you need to give it more time. So
It's a great album. Yeah.
They're actually performing at Splendor here, which is something I saw that's like quite interesting actually.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That was 17, yes. 16, we're getting to Sly Withers Gardens.
That's the fourth.
Number 15, Sungazer, Perihelion.
Wow.
It's a good album. Now here's the part that's gonna disappoint everybody. Number 14, Joyrider.
That's still 5. But that is a surprise.
That's low. That is
I
low.
thought that would have been a confirmed top 10 worldwide.
Yeah.
Mr. Worldwide, but no.
I thought so too, but there was a lot of things I really enjoyed this year. And
that's fair enough.
I really enjoy Joyrider. Please don't get me wrong. I think it is Petite League's best work. It's a great album, but there's so much other stuff I really liked, especially when I go up further to the list. Number 13.
That's fair.
Number 13 is Little Nas X's Montero. Great album. It's just there's a lot going on. Joyrider is the better.
It's the best album to suck cock to.
Joyrider is the better experience, but Montero hits harder in some.
I genuinely, I was joking yesterday about Montero. I was saying, like, listening to that song makes me want to actually just leave my girlfriend because I don't like girls anymore after that. Little Nas X is actually turning me gay. He's just that good at it.
Number 12, to now wrap in the EPs, Beach Bunny Blame Game EP. Number 11, we're going to go to Left at London's TIAP FYH. Fantastic album. I think that's one of my best picks of the year. And number 10, we're going with Home Is Where's I Became Birds.
It's number 6.
Number 9, JPEG Mafia's LP offline version. So many better songs are on that version specifically.
Yeah, I would have refused to rank the online in my version. Not my version. My
Your rankings.
Perspective, I guess. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I had to just because it was two different experiences.
Yeah, that's fair enough. You do you.
Now number 8.
Yeah.
And here's the big upset now too. Number 8's gonna go to Sketchy by Tune-Yards. Fantastic album. So many great songs. Almost as great and fantastic as number 7, Stomach Book.
At 7 as well.
Yeah.
On 7.
Damn.
6, not at all surprising, I'm sure. I have loved Shaky Graves the entire year. Roll the Bones X is a fantastic album. It is partially a re-release of a 10-year-old album, but the second part of it is just as good, if not more interesting than the first part.
More interesting, I think.
Before you do your top 5 here, Dominic, and let me say if I'm just correct on here. Now, obviously, I've counted there 7 of these have been my picks, but I'm pretty sure that's about to just completely go up by a lot here now, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think I know all 5 of them, and I'm going to type them, but I'm not going to post them until you're done.
Okay.
And we'll see how much of those that I am correct on.
Okay.
So let me just quickly get a little refresher here. Yep, I am ready.
Okay.
Go.
Now number 5.
I'm ready then.
Number 5 was a surprise for us in a different sense, in that it's a subject matter you would never expect to create good music, but it is a solid album throughout. None of the it is a 7-album song, I believe, or 7-song album. All of it pretty much hits. Just high quality all around. Dr. Colossus says, "I'm a stupid moron with an ugly face and a big butt. My butt smells, and I like to kiss my own butt."
There's a.
Yeah.
Now, number 4. I do think this album is also really fantastic. I just can't quite see it being number 1 when there is so much other good stuff. Especially when I think the hype for it is a little bit overblown. There is some pretension in there. Talking about, of course, Black Country New Roads for the first time.
There's number 9.
Number 3. The biggest surprise in terms of just never ever hearing about this person, just blowing up completely, loving it, and especially coming back to certain songs in particular throughout the year. Of course, talking about Paranormal, See the Next Part of the Dream.
There's 10.
Yeah.
Number 2 is an album I don't understand why I like as much as I do. I don't really listen to it very much anymore, but there is a certain quiet respect that I have for it, that anytime I listen to it, it's a complete experience. It's a complete vibe. It really gets me in a way that I just don't see from a lot of albums, even if I'm not listening to it very often. Of course, talking about Mogwise's Love Continues.
And I don't even need to wait for your number 1 on here, because I'm boasting I've already got it all right here, because that's 11, and I'm about to get 12 here.
Fuck off. Fuck off. Alright, number 1, as I have talked about since the moment we put it on the podcast, this album is the best album we have listened to the entire year. I am not wrong. Every song hits. Every second, every minute of the 50 or so minutes it goes is straight, it is true, it does not disappoint. In terms of album construction, in terms of the way the songs flow together, in terms of how they bounce off each other and play off each other, in terms of how they can change and mix and twist, everything about it is just so clearly the best album of the year. I just wish other people could see it as clearly as I do.
Mr. Dom Emo.
It is, of course, for the audio listeners, Origami Angels Gami Gang.
Motherfucking Gami Gang.
Fantastic album. I could put on pretty much any song out of it and just start there and go to the end. I could flip around. I could do pretty much anything I want with that album. I don't get tired of it. Not yet, at least.
Yeah.
So that is 12 out of 25.
Half the list.
Impressive.
Half. And the best part of it is it doesn't start. What was number 20 for you again? That was me, wasn't it?
Yes, Lucy Dacus.
Yeah. So it doesn't actually start until the top 20 as well. So
God
the
damn.
only reason it didn't go to 60% was because of you doing 5 more albums, you cheeky bug.
And I said the best album that I chose this year, surprisingly, was Tune Yards, which I am still shocked to believe myself because I thought Left in London would take it, but I think Tune Yards is the better album. Left in London just has some higher highs, perhaps. But
fair enough.
And I picked your whole top 5. This is honestly the best. This is my peak. I'm actually not doing better than this.
I also want to correct something I said earlier in that I would put Mitchell J's EP as number 3 in my hypothetical EPs list. I would actually put it a little bit lower because Last Year Was Weird and Queen of Hearts would go before that. But anyway, I also have my top 20 songs ready.
Go ahead.
Go for it.
Because I think this will be the wild west that you don't know.
Remember, I streamed my top 100, and I think there's going to be some whack shit in there.
Oh, yeah. I'm excited for this. I'm going to start with number 20. Number 20 is going to go to Stomach Book. Greetings from Oblivion. We hope to see you soon. I think those last 2 tracks are really good. I think it was honestly a toss-up between the last 2 tracks. Greetings from Oblivion just managed to edge it out.
I reckon I'd still be like an ode or something, but I absolutely fucking respect your choices here.
Yes. Fantastic track. Number 19, Lucy Dacus' Thumbs. I just gravitated to that track immediately. It's just really a vibe. It is so... It just paints such a scene.
I posted the image of the, who was it? It was NPR, gave it number 3, and that's, there's your validation.
Yeah, like, it's not even about, I want to kill that dad, or I want to do this, I want to do that. I just want to know more. I just want to, like, go a level or 2 deeper with it, honestly. Number 18, then, we're looking at Lil Nas X's Industry Baby featuring Jack Harlow. Number 17, Shannon and the Clams, Do I Want to Stay?
I got 16, no words about either of them.
16, Tune Yards Hypnotized, fantastic track. I don't even know if that's gonna be my top Tune Yards track of the album looking back, but right now that's just where it is. Number 15 is gonna be one that we disagree on quite a bit. Left in London's The Ballad of Marian Zionchek. I'm
actually gonna quickly ask a question before you continue on as well. Are you limiting this to 1 per artist, or was there no limit?
I would end up limiting it to 2 per artist.
Okay, cool.
Because there was at least one where I was gonna have like 4, and I'm like,
yeah. I just wanted to make sure we weren't going into like a whole like, okay, well that's it, and that's what you consider the best kind of situation.
No.
Nah. Continue on, kind sir.
14, Clarkson, Sly Withers.
Banger.
Great track. Love it. Love listening to it.
Even if a night shift and clocks in, all are flown at your side. Every horse in the garden need some time with our eyes to feel.
It's just it just hits hard being in my late 20s now.
Yeah, fair enough.
Number 13, going to Lil Nas X again with Montero, Calling by Your Name. I think Montero, Industry Baby are both really, really good singles. He's just really good, you know?
Montero is incredible.
Yeah, Montero specifically, just a whole vibe. Love it, love it, love it. And number 12. Number 12 is a song that I'm the only one who pretty much remembers this song. I'm the only one who's ever going to talk about this song, I feel like. I'm talking about Chinatown from Shaky Graves.
I love that song.
It's just a nice throwback to like a wah 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 wah, kind of like a 30s vibe. It's just really cute, really nice.
Yeah.
Just sticks in your head. And I think it's played with that guitar, isn't it?
Probably. I mostly just remember the mandolin on the track.
Yes. Okay. Number 11 then is the newest one to the podcast. Not the newest one overall, but the newest one to the podcast. Number 11 goes to Beach Bunny's Oxygen. Really, really great track. Did not expect to like it as much as I did, considering that we don't cover a super big amount of just singles usually. And I pretty much every music I listened to this year has been from this podcast, so I did not have the time to really go outside of that boundary. So
well, hopefully it's assigned to an album so we can cover it again.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, hopefully.
But given that, like, forgive me for not choosing a bunch of outside stuff because I at least covered everything I wanted to talk about this year.
Yeah, no, fair enough.
Yeah, no, fair enough.
Number 10, Black Country New Road. Song going to be instrumental. This is why I was laughing earlier because I called it the weakest track, and I was like, no, it's not. Number 9, Origami Angel, Caught in the Moment.
I absolutely fucking respect that. I think that's even if that's not my favorite, that's a top 2.
Number 8, JPEG Mafia, Sick, Nervous, and Broke. Number 7, was it?
I just said noise.
Number 7 is Stomach Book, Our Story.
Well, there you go. There's the next Stomach Book on there.
Fantastic track. Our Story stuck out to me right away. Ode is good, but Ode just never quite hit in the same way.
Fair enough.
Number 6, Lard Lad, Dr. Colossus.
Banger.
Fan-fucking-tastic track. Is so fucking good.
Oh, the miracle mountain.
Again, you would never expect Simpsons metal to be as good as it is.
That's what I said about like when we covered Dr. Colossus. If you granted like the title of the album gives it away a bit, but if you had generally no idea what they were talking about before listening to it, you wouldn't think it's Simpsons related. Yeah, because they don't specifically go, oh look, Simpsons, blah blah blah. They just use it as inspiration for their writing, and it works so much for fucking doom metal. It's actually insane.
Yeah.
Number 5, going to Richie Sacramento by Mogwai.
Another banger.
Yes, absolutely great track.
It's a standout as well because it's the only one with lyrics on the whole album.
Yeah, I also really liked The Been My Friends, but I felt in the end I had to choose, and Richie Sacramento it was so high up there that I could never get rid of it. No way, it had to be the other one. Now here is where it gets interesting because I feel like I had to kind of jockey it around a little bit just to satisfy myself, satisfy this podcast, just a little bit of like, we'll see how this lands in the end. Number 4, we're going with Origami Angel again. Track, Mock Bike.
Oh.
It was really hard to choose another one when there was like 4 or 5 I had on the list, but I think Mock Bike is a great example of the singing prowess, is a great example of the songwriting, is a great example of everything I like about Origami Angel, even down to it being super relatable with the whole thing of like, you know, I'm tired every moment of the day, then when it's nighttime, it's just can't sleep.
I want to ask, what were the 2 or 3 Origami Angel songs that you had to cut?
Neutrogena Spectre.
Thought so.
Bossa Nova Core.
Was there another one that you cut, or was it just like?
I mean, I can't remember the song right now. Wearing Adidas one.
Footloose Cannonball Brothers.
Yes.
Yeah.
And of course, Greenbelt Station was a 2020 track, technically.
Yeah.
But 4 is Mock Bike. Number 3, Bad for Fun.
That is actually the first one we haven't covered.
It is.
Arguably, yes. I feel like we put it. I tried to put it in somewhere, but we didn't get it covered.
But we haven't officially covered it. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, I think I didn't want to officially cover it because I thought it might be put on another album, but that was kind of confirmed to not be a thing from Lorenzo.
Yeah.
Yes. Bad for Fun, possibly my favorite Petite League song. It is just so fun. I wish it was not a B-side. It's the same chord as Moondogs. Like, so what? Put it on an album. It is a great.
I mean, look at
single.
AC/DC.
Like,
hey, I'll
I
let you know
song.
that AC/DC is a national treasure, and I'm fucking with you.
Now this
They've
list,
only got one song, man.
this
they've only got
list-
one song.
this list to be very different had Joyrider and Greyhound come out this year.
Yeah, fair enough.
Fair enough.
So that leaves us with number 2. Number 2 and number 1 are songs I think are pretty much perfect. I'm surprised number 2 is as high as it is, but there's nowhere else for it to go. It is Home Is Where's L. Ron Hubbard Was Way Cool.
Now I knew that was going to be your highest Home Is Where, and that's kind of why I'm surprised that it is number 2 actually. But
The only Home Is Where as well. I like that album a
Yeah.
lot.
Wow.
But L. Ron Hubbard Was Way Cool is one of the best openers I have ever heard. Almost
Yeah.
as great as number 1.
which I'm going to guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just kind of spoiled it.
Paranol's
But
Beautiful
it's-
World.
Yeah. Fucking
Paranol's
beautiful track.
Beautiful World, Song of the Year for me. The best track.
Wow.
And to
I-
think that I introduced you to that one literally by just showing the microphones in 2020 style, show some photos and make it a music video.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
Beautiful World is a song I could put on. Like, if I'm, like, gonna drive home from work and I'm super tired, I need to get woken up. That is a song I will put on, because I will just launch into, like, just feeling great, feeling wonderful, feeling just the entire vibe of the song.
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
Trix, have you got any individual rankings?
I've got my top 10 new stuff, and then I got just some stuff that I'm kind of glad we covered.
Go ahead with both of them.
All right, I'll start with my top 10. This might be a little bit surprising. I don't know how you guys know. I didn't really keep track, so I kind of just threw this together today, but
Sure.
I feel like my rankings are true enough. I'm going to start number 10 with Witch Egg.
Fair enough.
Oh, wow, okay.
I really dug that jazz. It was weird. It was fun. I still listen to it a lot.
Remember, we don't need to actually go validation. If you love it, you fucking love it, and you go
Yeah.
for stuff.
Shaky Graves, we've already covered it. That's going to be my number 9. There's just so much to love about that album. Number 8 is actually going to be Origami Angels, Gami Gang.
Yeah.
So is
Dial-
that the first one we've all had in our top 10?
Yes.
Yeah. So number 8 is Origami Angel. Number 7, I'm putting is Shannon and the Clams. I dug that. Number 6, Stomach Book, another one we all have in our top.
No,
Not 10.
it's-
I have it a lot lower, but I still have it in top 20.
Fair enough. I just meant in like top rankings.
Yeah, fair enough.
Where I lost track. Where was I? Okay, 6, and then 5 for me is gonna be Paranormal.
Okay.
Wait, what was 6?
Stomach Book.
Oh, sorry, wait, 7 was Shannon and the Clams. That's right. Yeah, 6 is
7 was Shannon and the Clams. 6 was
Yep,
Stomach
yep,
Book,
yep.
and 5 is Paranormal.
which is now the second one that we've all had in our top 10.
4 is Tristan.
Actually, I want to say
Four.
Paranol we've actually all had in top 5.
Hell yeah.
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 Hell yeah. Tristan is my number 4.
Fair enough.
My number 3 is Adult Mom.
And it's my pick,
And-
technically.
Yeah. Number 2 is Home Is Where.
Also
And
on
I
our
gotta
top
give
10.
number
Oh,
1.
Not our top 10.
And number 1 I gotta give to Petite League.
Fair enough. Well,
And just some stuff I'm glad we covered. Like I'm glad I got to talk about Electric Wizard and Sleep, and bring about the start of my 80s new wave obsession with Oingo Boingo and Talking Heads.
I forgot to
and-
listen to Oingo Boingo still. Fuck.
You almost forgot to listen to fucking Migration Annex EP from Deer Hunter, the best part of that week. But damn it.
Dominic, this isn't about you.
I know.
But yeah, there was a lot of fun just to cover. This was a fun year.
Alright, well this is now probably the part that's gonna get heavily edited out, but I think we're gonna have to do some deliberations now and do some voting
Okay.
on what we consider our best ones are.
How do we do this
So-
again?
Okay.
I think what we did was that we all kind of like nominated some stuff that was on there, but obviously
Okay.
we've done quite a lot. So I'm suggesting that we start this off just by doing the 2021s, and this isn't restricted to the podcast. It's just what we consider the best albums
Oh, we're
on
doing
there.
best. Got it.
Well, no, I guess we will restrict this one to the podcast actually, but we're just gonna throw out. I guess we'll just throw in our top 10s, and that will make our nominations a lot easier for that. So everyone kind of remembers what the top 10 albums are.
Of the whole year.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
Not just 2021, but the whole year.
yeah, of the whole year.
Okay.
Oh no, sorry, no, this is 2021 albums that we're just doing this, and then we'll do the votes for
Okay.
for the whole year. So
Okay.
I guess best way to start is to actually just like post our whole top 10s in the rankings channel, so we all kind of like remember what it is.
I actually physically wrote mine down. Give me a few minutes.
Yeah.
All right, everybody.
Jinx. I guess. By me.
I'll be
Buy me
spicing it
beer.
back in. Yeah, here we are. We are go back with our top 10 of consensus of the 2021 albums. Ritz, if you want to read it off.
I will. So we've just calculated all the rankings and stuff that were done from all those individuals, and this is the consensus. And I think there's not much disagreements. Probably a bit of an upset. Not gonna lie at the number one, but I guess there's no better way than to go through it and then act like we don't already know the results.
Yeah.
So number 10 is actually Shaky Graves' "Roll the Bones X."
Yeah.
Which got in
Yep.
through the sheer willpower of Trix and Dominic.
Good album.
Not to be beaten by the fucking I'm bad at words. Sheer willpower that Trix had to get Adult Mum in at number 9 for Driver.
Yep.
But doesn't beat my willpower to get Tiny Little Houses in at number 8 through my singular vote. But all of that ends up getting even more trumped at number 7 from Dominic's singular vote for Mogwai as the love continues.
Yeah.
6 is one of our first kind of big. Well, it's not the first big one because Shaky actually had a tiebreaker with Tristan, I believe it was, and to end up winning that one and getting our 10th spot. But actually beating Mogwai in our tiebreaker scenario was Stomach Book. That's our number 6, and it's kind of looking onto it. Our top 5 was really just kind of far away. Like the difference between 6 and 11th is 2 points. The difference between 5th and 6th is 6.
Yeah.
And then the difference between 1st and 5th is 6 as well. So it gets really top heavy here, but that's to be expected. But let's go into it. Our top 5 albums for Dissonant Waves this year: Origami Angels, Gami Gang sneaks its way into the... Well, not really sneaks, crashes its way completely into our number 5 spot. Black Country New Road, for the first time, is our 4th best album of the year. And one that I think a lot of us would have expected to be the winner at the early of the year doesn't quite got there. Petite League's Joyrider is our 3rd best album of the year. And that is thanks in part to Dominic not putting a point to it.
Yes.
Sorry.
And this one became a bit controversial, but we agreed to allow the points to this because I had rated it EP of the year, allowing it to get to number 2. That is, of course, Home is Where I Became Birds. That just snuck
Indeed.
past Petite League. But number 1, which sneaked past it, like, Petite League was 19 points, Home is Where was 20 points, and then our winner with 21 points is Paranor's To See the Next Part of the Dream.
Incredible.
Couldn't be more poetic than that.
Indeed.
Are those all your picks?
That is our top 10 of this. I guess the only things to do now is to argue what are the best stuff that we covered and what's the worst stuff that we covered. This would be the longest episode of the year, most likely.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is fine. So
That's
let's wrap
alright.
up.
I
Yep.
live with my partner now. I'm not annoying anyone by being here.
My roommate is asleep and I'm playing Saints Row, so I'm not annoying anybody either.
I'm just
Beautiful.
in my room. All
Making
right.
emo music. That's the paranormal.
Yeah.
Mom's done shit. The camera.
All right. So, how are we gonna do this?
Look, I reckon we all have to just kind of like quickly go through this. You know what? I got a really easy way of doing this. So what we're gonna do is we're going to go through all the stuff, and Dominic, you will list the names of this, and I'm gonna need to get a drink of water before we actually start here.
Yeah.
We go through each album, and we all vote for either abstain, which means we don't think it belongs in either list, best list, and you add it to the best list, or worst list, and whichever one gets the most votes. If it's a three-way tie, it's an abstain.
So we're starting from the beginning of the year, going through it.
Yep. And if we're editing this part, so if anyone needs to get a drink of water, now would be the time. So, are we all ready after this very fucking long deliberation that we've done? So,
Yeah.
for all those who haven't caught up to speed because you wouldn't have, because we've edited it out, we've gone through every single thing we've done this year, and we've nominated them into a list of good, bad, or just abstained from it, and they won't be talked about. And we've currently done the easier one, and we've ranked it the same way as we did the best 2021 albums, with the same scoring. And this is the worst things that we have covered over this year. This is a definitive list, and for those who are on this list, you can do better.
Starting with the worst.
We will start with the best of the worst. Number 10 with only 4 points, and you want the less points in here, by the way. Like, the more points that you have, the worse you've done.
Mm-hmm.
And a reminder that the max that we can give, each one of us, 3 people can give, is 10.
Yeah.
At number 10, Oscar Lang's Are You Happy? With only 4 points. At number 9, Yasen. I can't remember the EP, that's shorty thingy, blah blah blah. At 11 points is number 9. Number 8, The Aubrey's Karaoke Alone, an absolute disappointment, I guess we can all agree.
Yes.
With 12 points. Which has managed to be at number 7, Emily Montez, the Montez EP, a true classic, with 13 points. But we've considered that better than Tenacious D, which is there in 6th place with 14 points for Rise of the Phoenix, specifically the clean version.
Yeah.
At number 5, we have voted in Co-Stanz's Patch of Grass EP. Really boring effort. And maybe there's some recency bias at this point here, but also I can tell you gravely not, it doesn't apply for the next 4, but it's 16 points. Co-Stanza is our 5th worst. 4th, Cardinal Hearts album, I guess you can put it as, that we did for that April Fool's episode.
In the Clouds.
In the Clouds.
Yep.
I don't even want to quote the things. All you ever be to me is origami. Did we not know?
All you ever be to me is Origami Angel.
Yeah.
Oh no. Recursive.
You've already given Origami a number 1. 4 is Cardinal Heart at 18 points. Number 3, the reason why we don't let feed the kids out of their cages, Alex Boniello's EP with 21 points. That was so consistent from us. Not even the worst though when it comes to this, but we all weren't impressed with that.
Yeah.
But the one that we did expect to hate, and that we actually did really fucking hate. And Tony, you can do better. With 26 points at number 2, which also just goes to show how bad we thought our number 1 was. Tones and I's Welcome to the Madhouse. 26 points.
Yeah.
How many of these are my picks?
Well, Tones and I was mine, but I intentionally did that.
Yes. 1, 2,
But
3, 4, 5 of them are mine.
I think only one of them is mine. I could be wrong. No, 2 of them are mine.
Yeah, but
3 of them.
3. But the big one here which we have unanimously agreed is the worst album that we had to listen to this year, and we did it for the April Fool's one. Reminder that the max you could get was 30, and that would be if everyone gave you a 10, and we did. We gave this 30. We all agreed this is a fucking. I don't even have an insult that would actually come to describe how bad this album was. D.D. King standing in the spotlight.
Oh my god.
I actually said at the end of that episode that they say that a person's second death is when you stop talking about them, and to hurry it up. But I actually now take that back because I want to keep talking about him, so he has to have the torture of living in the afterlife in purgatory for making this record.
Fair.
Fair enough. I can respect that.
All right. So now we will take one more deep dive back into figuring out our consensus overall, what the best stuff we listened to this entire year is.
I'm so scared to go through this. It took us so long to get to this point. Well, after even more further deliberations and more crying and a really broken system that probably hasn't actually worked, we have gotten a top 10. And look, I'm not surprised with what's come first here, but I thought it was going to be a lot more of a blowout than it actually was.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, my partner's just laughing at me. It's all good. This is great for my confidence. Anyway, at number 10, we have David Bowie's Black Star, which got in with 7 points. By the way, I forgot to mention, we're using the exact same point system. At number 9, we have Talking Heads Speaking in Tongues, if I got the title right.
Yes, you did.
Yep, at 8 points, which had a bit of a vote split kind of like situation, tiebreaker, but actually just lost out due to that tiebreaker to of Montreal's Skeletal Lamping at number 8 with 8 points. A single vote has pushed Mogwai into the 7th position at 9 points. Sorry, I'm just at a bit of a can't think situation there. And this one was a bit of another vote split that's happened now between 6th and 5th, but in the end, I'm just giving it to whoever can take it. So, Black Country New Roads for the first time is taken the 6th place with 10 points. To be beaten on the timebreaker by 5th places, it's Sleep's Dope Smoker, again, at 10 points. Here, though, is where we had a huge gap. Like I said, difference between 10th and 11th was 1 point. Difference between 4th and 5th was 6. So at 4th place, and I can't remember where this came in our 2021, and this is probably completely wild compared to it, but who gives a shit? Origami Angels Gami Gang comes in at number 4.
Yep.
Number 3 had a great year, and somehow I think even improved its position despite staying the same. Petite League's Joe Rider at number 3 was 17 points.
Hell
at
yeah.
number 2 now, Home is Where's I Became Birds becomes the top 2021 in this ranking. All the irony. Because number 1 has gone to probably the most important album that we covered this year, I guess. And I was surprised that was the only one to put it at number 1. But I think we can all agree it is safely the best album that we covered. Daft Punk's Discovery wins with 20 points.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Interesting
that was
list.
A hell of a fucking day.
Yeah.
And we've got some more shit to do after we're done recording for a bit as well. That's the fun part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But until then, and until next year when we finally get back in, this has been Dissonant Waves for 2021.
Episode 82.
Holy fuck.
We did it. We're done. We're done the rankings. Oh, we've been recording for 3 hours.
Fuck. My ass is asleep.
Our food has finally come.
Your ass is dope smoker?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Oh, fuck.
until next year, I guess. I think we should sign this off before we go critically insane. I have been.
Yeah.
You can catch me on my website, reallearnforkids.github.io. I also have a YouTube channel. It should be linked in the description below, but Dominic seems to forget that and post my Steam game instead, which you should play.
But I don't list your YouTube channel?
You don't link my YouTube channel, I think.
You never gave me the link then.
Oh, you'll find it.
Okay.
I've been Tricks. You can catch me on Twitter at procrastinaut_. It's like procrastinating astronaut, and then an underscore at the end of it. And I also have Twitter bot and a dumb YouTube channel where I do bass guitar shit. You can catch us all on Twitter at Dissonant Waves and dissonantwaves.space, and our YouTube channel, which you're probably listening to this now on.
That's really all we got.
And I'm Dominic. You can catch me online at Twitter at DACICHOCKI. And then I do some writing some places. I should have an article hopefully being posted in the new year. And somewhere in those first few months, maybe I'll talk more about it then. TiltingWindowsStudios.com. Games My Mom Found podcast. I've been guesting on several times now. Please check that out if you're interested in listening to more of me. That is really about it.
And that's Dissonant Waves to 2021. We will catch you next year with whatever the hell we do, whenever the hell we do it.
I can't believe I'm at like a 3-hour podcast. Have a good night, everybody.
Good night.